Monster!
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you will ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. Brian Hopper LaGrasta and Shane the Human Chestnut Smith. Very fitting for Christmas season. Very fitting to have Tim and Becca back on. And I say that specifically because, Tim, you made an appearance last year during our Christmas season.
I did.
For P2 in a parking lot.
I did.
Yes.
You know, I'm very grateful to be back again.
Oh, we're happy to have you
for a holiday themed episode. And you know, I will say that we're gonna get into it, but I feel like I was very on a hot streak with respects to the cameos and appearances I've had. I was due for one that is questionable.
Yes. I think you're also moving up the list as most viewed, most put on guest on the show.
Appearances?
I'm going to say he's probably moving into like a top 4-ish kind of area right now.
I am eternally grateful.
You quadrupled.
But I am. I'm blowing up. But I also like this. Like you're like my better half now on these.
Okay.
So I'm happy to have you on here too.
I'm happy to be here.
It is.
Well, we just kind of spit and then Becca will correct us.
Yes.
Becca,
She course corrects.
Yes.
Becca, I will say is our woman expert because this is how we all learn that you like on the Skinnamarink episode we learned that you can't just forget to have a baby.
Yeah, or Shane is like, if you are in a coma and you hit the 9 months, do you give birth?
I thought maybe just
you just
maybe
forget.
just
That is going to
stay
be
You
there
forget,
forever.
yeah.
episode just because of that moment, and that moment will be in my heart forever.
Yes, it will.
I thought maybe it just stayed there until you woke up.
Oh,
I didn't
man.
know.
That's okay.
Now I do.
But
Yes.
that's why it's so good to have her
Yes.
here, because God forbid, this is why I even said on the episode, it's like, if you're not here and we say something and you're not here to fact check us,
Okay.
when she hears the episode air, she starts screaming.
Well, that's the thing. If
Screaming.
Becca wasn't on that episode, we all would have went into
would've
the
been,
end thinking
Yeah,
she's
yep.
still pregnant. Yeah, I buy in.
We would have never
Did
known.
you forget to have that baby again?
You can yell at her. She's in a coma. All right. You know what else? Coma. This movie almost put
thought
me
you were
in
in
one.
coma.
Yeah, because we're reviewing the mean one, and it is a fascinating take on the G word. I don't think we.
G
gotta be
I don't think we.
careful.
You can't think you can't say it.
Yeah, this is the bye-bye man of. So Mr. Finch.
I think we could call him Mr. Finch.
Is there a Mike Finch in the building?
Yeah, so we were talking about this off air, but we'll bring it on to the air now. Was there a lawsuit if they said Grinch?
Yeah.
I guess. So how did they get the rights to have the appearance of the Grinch, but not say he's the Grinch? I guess you can't copyright a green
Parody law,
monster.
right?
It's parody law.
Okay.
So it's there's certain things that you can and cannot say. So I don't think you can say the Grinch, but you can say the mean one.
Right, 'cause
And
it's just a nickname or-
Exactly. As long as it's technically falls under parody law, you can do
That
whatever
works.
you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's not like a licensed character or
Yeah.
something.
I just think that they still towed a very fine line because the depictions of the mean one is incredibly similar to Jim Carrey's depiction
Yes.
of
Yes.
the Grinch.
Even when
in
they
the-
had, what was it, when they had someone draw a picture and it was just someone printed out a picture of Jim Carrey's Grinch and then just traced it. And that was it.
and the mountain, the iconic mountain that he lives on. What is it? Is it Mount Crumpet or whatever they call it?
Mountain
Yes.
shot.
Whenever I throw the garbage out during Christmas time, I always say dump it to Crumpet. It's like my favorite thing to say. And even the mountain in this movie is exactly the same. And just I was shocked he didn't have his titular companion Max, the dog.
I
Yeah.
know. That's
With,
the
like
one
a
that's
demonic,
missing.
like the Bye Bye Man's ground beef dog. You know what I mean? They
God.
could have done
Should
that.
have had a demon dog
He should have had a demon dog, 100%.
with little antlers tied to its head.
And that song they sing in The Grinch, don't they
Yeah,
reference
mean
that
one.
multiple times here with the Yabu Dabe or something they keep
They
Yes.
they go they Yahoo Dabba.
Yahoo, wada, bada.
That infuriated me too. There's also a reference to Horton Hears a Who.
Yes.
Because the name of the bar later on is called Horton's.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
Seussian vibes.
There's
Exactly.
also a reference to that community that saw the leprechaun.
Yes.
At the very
my God,
end of
that
this
was
movie,
so
with the
good. Where it's
influencers,
like,
with
if
the
everyone sees the mean one, say yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who caught on to that.
Oh, and then when she does like what, a 30-minute workout scene, getting buffed to kill.
Incredible fucking
Yes.
scene. I feel like it was straight out of an 80s action
Yep.
movie.
And then she goes, I'm going to turn him into roast beast. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm getting really angry at the lack of effort into montages in movies.
Yes.
Where, like, I'm supposed to believe you can get incredibly buff in a
Yeah.
week.
She did 3 push-ups.
I made a comment to her when this happens. I go like the calendar jumps to like fucking June. Like, what if they're like, guys, Christmas happened like 6 months ago. Like, it's over, you know?
That would be like something you would get out of like a disaster movie. That'd be that kind of parody.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's the point. I think this is. I know we're gonna get into it. I know this is just supposed to be a straight up parody, but again, I couldn't figure out what the tone of the movie was. If it wanted to be funny, if it wanted to be scary.
I don't think it knew.
I
It
don't
really
think it did.
didn't know.
yeah, I don't think it knew what it wanted to be either. I just also don't know how she got her hands on a candy cane shotgun.
And a candy
True.
cane themed handgun,
Yeah.
like what? It's like she bought the Call of Duty holiday themed pack.
Dude,
like,
she
what's
had-
going on?
Yeah.
If this is such a small town, like I'm assuming they have if the armory's in the police station, she definitely had more weapons than the police
No.
did. Like she had so many
Yeah.
weapons.
Well, She had a
Get
grenade.
it? She got it from Dr. Zeus, right? Didn't he have? He had
He
that
did.
trunk full of weapons.
Weapons.
his car, which I'm sure he lived out of.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
This-
we gotta.
Yeah, I'm just like, I was actually just watching this movie as you guys were describing it, and I was just looking at how he actually looks. He has the smile of Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
He does the mannerisms.
Yeah.
You can't tell if this is a sentient being or not.
Yeah.
What is his motivations? He hates Christmas.
I don't know, but we'll find out now when we jump into
That was
the
the-
spooky
Yeah,
pit.
that-
Let's do it, because we got a lot to talk about.
The Mean One, released in 2022, directed by Stephen Lamorti, stars David Howard Thornton as the Mean One, Crystal Martin as Cindy, Chase Mullins as Detective Burke, John Bingham as Doc Seuss, and Eric Baker as Sheriff Cooper. I can't believe they got Art the Clown to do this.
I feel like it was a waste. I feel like he doesn't do
It
enough.
doesn't need to be him, yeah, because
because there's so much makeup on him. Like with Art the Clown, he has the face paint on, but you kind of still see him and his mannerisms. He's in a giant green suit with all this green fur. Like, you don't get that like look.
Yeah, it's also like not like a super creepy thing. It just
No.
kind of looks like a goof. And I love like when they flash back 20 years ago and the guy looks exactly the same except he has the mustache on.
Yes.
They just dyed his hair.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Where
yeah.
to even begin with this one?
Yeah, I mean you start.
at the beginning.
Yeah, there's a narrator that talks about how this is it starts the same, but there's a turn from the normal story
Yes.
of the G spot,
Yeah.
the G word.
The G-Man. Wait, is that Half-Life? The G-Man?
The
G-Man?
G-Man is the creepy government man
In
from
Half-Life, right?
correct.
Yeah. So I can't even say that. We'll call it the G-Spot.
I like Mr. Finch or
Mr.
G-Spot.
Finch.
I like G Spot.
So Mr. G-Spot.
Mr. Timo.
He's stealing gifts at the beginning of this movie?
Yes, he's
Okay.
fully doing a B&E. This
Yeah.
creature has
He's-
broken
he's-
into the house.
He's doing the thing from the original plot at this point, and Cindy has come down and is witnessing it, and is again doing the whole thing where they're trying to have a heart-to-heart about it. But then I guess the mother shows up and is like, "What the fuck?" Because I think that's how most people would react.
Yes.
In that
Oh,
situation.
absolutely.
To a green creature stealing their presents.
Yes, interacting with their small child.
So she's like chasing him out, and he like kind of shoves her to the side, and she goes neck first into a needle.
She was beating him with a giant nutcracker
Yes.
Yeah.
that broke, and it had an exposed
That's it.
piece of screw, or like there was like a large screw.
It was a
coming out of
very
it.
large
It
screw.
was like a big wood screw that she fell on and immediately died.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh well, that's not exactly his fault, but he was doing a B&E.
Yeah.
And that just changed the course of history.
Because then Cindy calls him a monster, and he's like, oh, I can't believe it, and then leaves.
Well, he just yells, lets out this grunt.
That's what infuriated me the most about
The grunt?
Mr.
The
G Spot is that they made him to be very much like a person, in terms of his mannerisms. He does the slunk and the slinking and does all of the stuff that the Jim Carrey live action version does without saying a single fucking word.
Yeah, it was a weird choice to make him never speak.
No.
Like, if you're going to make him a monster and he's going to growl and grunt and do all that stuff, then make him look more feral than a guy that you abducted off the lot of Universal Studios and, like, put him at gunpoint and said, you're going to act like a feral G-Man.
Not even Universal. Like, let's be real. It's Six Flags.
Yeah.
They had Fright Nights. Yeah.
It's the Fright Nights version.
So the mom dies, and the cops come because there's a dead body, and the cop goes to the little girl and says, What killed your mother? And she draws a picture of the Grinch.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, do it again. You're wrong.
This scene was so fucking wild because the cop was just like, you fucking idiot. It's a man. It's not a mom.
Like, we found this green balaclava.
This green map.
Showed it up to this traumatized girl. Said, do it again.
Do it again. And just remember, it's a man. And she's like, I'll do whatever you want, officer.
Yes.
It makes sense when you know where this movie goes, technically, right? Because he's in on it, right?
It's just like
he's
so
aware.
over the top. Like, just let it go.
It's still stupid.
It's incredulous in its own. Like, if someone's like, oh no, a monster broke into my house. Like, why do you gotta shake the girl down and make her rewrite the
Considering
drawing?
it's like an 8-year-old girl.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little extreme.
So they move away.
Yes.
Understandably so.
Yes. But they come back 20 years
20
later?
years later, they keep the house in
Yes.
pristine
Yes.
condition.
No cobwebs. It's
No.
clean.
Well,
The pipes work.
We gotta talk first. They get pulled over because
They
we gotta
do.
introduce.
Yes.
We gotta
The
introduce.
ma'am cop.
I'm so surprised. So the mom died before or on Christmas.
Yeah.
They're still gung-ho about Christmas. They said a murder is not going to ruin my Christmas spirit. We're going full Christmas, which is so surprising. I feel like the dad was the catalyst for the Christmas.
Sure.
I think he was like kind of happy that the mom was gone.
Yeah, right.
Because like,
It's like, I love Christmas. I don't care.
The goal is to go back to Newville to get over her PTGD.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
PTSD or whatever.
I like PTG spot.
Yeah.
So, I guess the best thing to do to get someone over something is just to and capture them in the home their mother was murdered for a week.
Yeah, celebrate another Christmas.
Yes, celebrate Christmas in the house your mom was murdered. Where there is still blood splurry on the floor, right?
Yeah, that's actually unbelievable. Like, you gotta.
She explained this to me. You have to clean up your crime scene if
Yes,
someone gets killed
that
in your
is a real
house.
thing.
No, it's
You clean it up.
You either pay. Okay, so when there's a crime that happens in your house, you either pay for an external service out of your own pocket to clean it, or you go, I got no money, and they go, okay, well, you're gonna clean the blood. That's it. So you got to.
Cops
You're
straight up go, we're done here, boys. Hit
yeah.
the showers
They
and
take
they're
the
out.
evidence and they say, okay, good luck. This is your house.
They don't like send someone to clean it. That's
No, you got to.
That's
They
actually
can.
wild to me.
They can, but you have to pay out of pocket.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Can you charge the murderer?
That is super crazy too, especially when it's your freaking family.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna clean my
There's-
relative's blood.
I've listened to a lot of true crime podcasts where there have been ones where I was talking to Tim about it, where, long story short, someone got bludgeoned to death in their bed, and the brother-in-law came over to help clean it up, and he found a part of a skull under the bed. So this is that's normal America for you.
That's
brutal.
wild. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, very, very traumatizing.
I'd send the killer an invoice.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I would just charge the killer.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, and here you go. By the way, I need this.
Well, she's gonna have to clean up more because her dad is instantly hanging up a tree and all these wreaths
I don't.
while
how
the
are
blood is still on the floor.
Yeah, he's
and so
put
the
a rug over
Grinchy
that.
poo is gonna show up and he's going to just stab the dad through the eye with an icicle. What was it? Was this candy cane stick?
It was a fake candy cane.
She's outside, right?
Yeah,
and, like,
she sees
she
it
gets
impaled
locked
through the
out.
window.
and it gets the eye gets impaled through the
Yeah.
window.
Right. So it's like in the span of just like the very beginning of this movie, they get the mother dies.
Wait. Can we back up to them getting pulled over?
Yes.
She starts sassing this cop that she doesn't know.
God.
After,
Yeah,
after,
because the cop tells him you guys can't have Christmas stuff. in
yeah,
your
Christmas
car.
is banned.
Christmas is banned in this town, and the dad's like, "That's bullshit."
Yeah, after I don't know about you, I could not tell if they were father or daughter or lovers
I
in
was
the
the
very
same-
beginning.
I was the same way.
They had a very flirty relationship in that car until the cop pulled him over, and the dad was like, "Ooh, hottie cop, you should bang that," and the daughter punches him in the arm or something.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
even
way
know.
too jolly for my taste.
Exactly.
I agree.
Like, he's a
To
little
going
too
back to the spot where your wife was murdered by a monster.
He was too happy for that.
too happy. He was like,
He's like, I'm going to be the wingman to my daughter right now.
It was very awkward and weird, and I also couldn't get a good handle on their relationship. But yeah, so then they go back, and then
he gets murdered.
He gets
absolutely
murdered
by the Grinch.
She watches it. Yeah,
the G-spot.
It's very funny that like in the span of not even a half hour, the mother and then the father in a 20-year time jump is already murdered.
The first 2 murders of the movie
are immediate. Absolutely.
And she wakes up in a mental institution, and you're questioning whether or not it even happened, if she never even went there at all.
No, but you know it happened because her hands are covered in blood.
You're absolutely smothered in blood.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she has like a hangnail and has a little bit of blood under her nail, and she freaks the fuck out.
It's
That's
actually
what
wild.
it looks like.
And everyone's still gaslighting her at this point, right? Like the cop is, and then I was calling it before Mayor McBitch. Mayor McBean, because she's just an absolute piece of shit.
She's just slapping people with stickers.
Absolutely,
yeah. She's like, we can't. The tourism of this tiny southern, this tiny Southern California town. If people knew that we had a Christmas murderer, they wouldn't come to this sleepy town off the side of nowhere.
This town is the anti-Christmas.
It
really is.
This town's also. This is like such an overplayed trope of the mayor who will ignore 7,000 murders in order to open the beach. Like, it's just...
Essentially.
Is it a stretch that we felt like her character was a little Lynchian in the sense that she, like, had no sense of awareness and that she was just she was like, she would do that weird thing where she's like, for a brighter tomorrow.
And then she, like, kept the eye contact where she was slinking out the door.
She wasn't a real person.
No.
Like, I wanted, like, Angelo Badalamenti's music to come on. She'd walk in, like, like, and I'm like, she's on her own fucking mission, man.
You're not wrong.
And the cop is going to do the same thing. Like he's always
Maybe like,
crazy.
your dad must have, that was a suicide.
Yeah.
Everyone's gaslighting this poor woman.
Yeah.
And they're like,
your dad plucked his eye out.
Yeah.
Like, you have, like, when a cop's like, you have mental illness. Like, that's...
Oh, my God.
So she goes back to the house that her dad was now murdered in.
Fresh on the floor now.
And
again.
She chooses to sleep in the house that both her parents were murdered in.
Yeah, this girl's kind of sick.
I don't and she still was like, well, Christmas has to go on.
Yeah, like she has to stay.
No.
But you want to talk about something that makes even less sense than everything we've talked about? The next scene, which is a Santa-palooza, SantaCon, pulls up into a town that doesn't celebrate Christmas. How would that be on the route? How would that be on the route?
They were in a Sprinter van, and then they pulled up to a diner.
Yeah.
I think I've never attended SantaCon, but like I feel like you could just make a horror movie in of itself when a SantaCon comes to your town, because like I remember being hungover trying to get home one December, and it was lightly snowing, and I'm in Hoboken, and the train comes into Hoboken Station, and like I'm hungover, right? So like my brain is not fully awake yet. All these Santas just come off the train. Not a single person was dressed in regular clothing. There was elves and fucking deer.
That's wild.
And I'm like, and they're all plastered. It's 10 a.m. already, and I'm like, oh God,
I need to leave.
That is a horror movie of itself. When a place like people like that roll into your establishment, but why would a Sprinter van show up in the middle of? I don't even know where. Well,
it's Southern
Newville.
California with a blue tint filter
yeah,
over it.
the fucking tint is sick. Yeah,
it's got the twilight tint on it. So
it's just like it doesn't make sense.
Newville,
that they're
California.
In Newville, California.
Like, why are you there, right?
exactly. So yeah, the SantaCons, they come to torture this town. Immediately makes a stop at a diner, and the Grinch knows. He has a Christmas sixth sense. I don't understand
He's
it.
on the mountain, yet he knows where everyone's going.
So fast?
He's
I don't know.
He's a demon. He
Yeah.
has to be a demon. They don't explain where he comes from. He's just been there. So he has to be. Like, that's the only
He
explanation.
gets down that stupid look, because it's the same stupid looking fucking mountain from the Ron Howard movie. Gets all the way down it to this town, right? You're talking like elevation of like a couple 1,000 feet. Fucking runs down and immediately. Oh, and by the way, didn't these murders in the bar? They didn't even technically happen in Newville, right? Because this whole time, every time, like the hikers that get killed, every time somebody gets killed, the cop goes, "That's not my jurisdiction."
You're right.
You're right.
So this one was federal, and then it goes to state.
Yeah,
Yes,
an excuse for everything.
because
He's like, it was
what
on the
it?
interstate. That's like highway patrol or
So,
some shit.
backing up a little bit, before the SantaCon killers.
The hiker thing.
The hiker. So she says, I'm going to find the Grinch. I'm going to get some proof
Yeah.
that the Grinch exists because my parents were murdered by something. So she goes and is hiking up the mountain where it's clearly Southern California, but then they CGI snow in every once in a while.
Yeah, the CG. It's wild.
She has a camera, and I think doesn't the Grinch he pushes her into a cave?
So the big shot she uses that she later uses to pin up in town is him doing the Jim Carrey run. He's haha. He runs right in front of her. She gets startled, falls into a hole I didn't even know fucking existed. And finds someone's credentials down there.
Yes,
she finds a bunch of
a wallet with a CGI.
Hunter Mulberry.
She even said it when she picks up the wallet. I swear
it's a CGI.
The guy's ID was CGI'd on because she's holding it like this, and the image is doesn't.
It's moving a little bit.
It doesn't match at all.
Truly amazing.
And so she somehow gets out of this fucking hole.
And she sees Christmas hikers.
Yeah, they were doing mistletoe on a mountain. Which
and
I'm sorry,
Santa
you
hats.
deserve to die if you're doing that shit. That's insufferable.
They get
on a mountain.
sliced to death.
Yeah, he
murks
them.
I actually forgot about Mistletoe Mountain.
Mistletoe Mountain hiker.
And she takes a blurry. She's up there only to take photos.
I literally love the shot that she gets and starts posting.
She gets one photo. And
that photo,
it's like a Bigfoot photo.
Furry, green. No one can see what the fuck that is. That is the worst.
There's actually
a tree.
Of Bigfoot that look better than that.
She's better at taking her childhood drawing of the green Grinch and then putting that.
It was big furry green, so a tree. You're talking about a tree right now.
So you saw a tree. Is what you said.
I really enjoy when after the hikers, the one hiker gets murked, the other one is getting put into the ambulance because it got stabbed, and they were like, "What happened?" And she's like, "My glasses fell off, like Velma."
I couldn't see. Yeah,
I couldn't see a goddamn thing.
My glasses. I thought the same thing. I was like, "This is
And then
wild."
Sydney's like, "You saw the monster, though, right?" And she's like, "Monster."
I think it's really.
Oh, you're crazy.
I think it's really funny that someone who just had a horrific thing happen,
monster.
You're getting traumatized by this random Karen who's like, "You saw what you saw, right? You saw it."
Wait, so they're loading her up in the ambulance, but then they just keep her there because she's talking to the cop, and I'm like, isn't the ambulance supposed to leave? And they're like, nah, they're hanging out. They're waiting until their conversation starts.
Seriously, exactly.
Isn't she bleeding out right now?
I think maybe they wanted her to die, so she couldn't say anything.
Okay, all right.
Keep it a secret.
And the only person in all of this, I think you said that the cop that comes to town, I equated him to Leon from Resident Evil. I'm new in town.
Literally,
I'm
though.
cop style. I'm new. I think you called him Sheriff Woody at one point because
he looks like Sheriff Woody.
He looks like Woody.
He has the biggest doe eyes and the longest eyelashes I've ever seen.
And
what is going on with this man?
That Deputy Burke.
Yeah, Deputy Burke, the one that they have a weird hots for each other thing going on.
Matzo ball soup.
Oh yeah.
No,
oh, when
amount
she just wants to fuck him in the shower. That's it.
That was wild.
That was
You saw
unexpected.
nipple. There was a brief nipple.
I'm like, this is so out of place, and then it was a dream, and I'm like, I still think that was really unnecessary.
They were. She was slipping tongue. She was into it.
Oh yeah, that was really graphic. That kind of came out of nowhere.
I don't like the amount of weird Jewish jokes.
It was bordering anti-Semitic.
It was getting a little weird.
Is that actor actually Jewish? Because that's kind of like the make or break.
His name was Deputy Goldman Sachs.
I'm the only rabbi cop in 100 miles.
Yeah. He does the dreidel thing later. Yeah.
yes.
I don't understand where the Hanukkah and Christmas thing fit in. It didn't really. I don't know.
No, they're not the same holiday.
No,
they're not the same holiday.
I know, it was weird. If it also doesn't play any role. Him being Jewish, unless they're just making jokes about it, plays zero role into the movie. It doesn't. Yeah.
I think they were like, we gotta widen our audience for this movie. If we
let's get the Christians, let's get the Jews.
Yeah. So the hikers get killed and then never revisited. That one girl, they're like, all right, whatever.
My problem. That's the fact.
Exactly.
Nothing
that
is
was
ever revisited
because it was on federal land.
Yes.
So they're like, the FBI is gonna take this over, which is where the fuck is the FBI?
They never show up.
Where's Mulder and Scully?
Yeah.
Where's the X-Files?
Yeah.
Immediately.
And then
Spooky Mulder.
and then the SantaCon kids,
happened.
Yeah.
they get
Murdered,
destroyed.
all of them.
But he grabs the bodies? So are there any bodies?
He
Is that
took
the thing?
he
He
took
took
some of
some
them.
bodies.
What
He
does he
takes-
eat them? I don't think they
They
ever.
imply that he eats the corpses.
Oh
They
my
do because they
God.
show missing flesh skeletons in the cave.
In the cave, yeah, later.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
so then he kills the SantaCon people for no reason.
Keeps the waitress alive though.
Keeps the waitress alive because she wasn't dressed Santa.
She wasn't doing anything holiday related.
No,
She just
so he spared her.
He put her in the freezer. That was probably the the person he was the
Yes.
nicest to during the whole movie.
And another thing where what is his strength? Because he has the ability to pick someone up and just like throw them across the room, but then he had a really hard time crushing a gingerbread.
Yeah.
House.
His ability is just truly unspecified. I think you're right as a demon. It also makes sense because he's going in there and dragging these bodies and eating them. I feel like he chains people up. Why would he do that? Like, and also there's a point where he has like this white canvas over a dead body. Why would he need to canvas a body? Like he would just leave the skeleton out.
None of this makes
Why
sense.
would he delicately hide the body?
There's also a very infuriating death scene in the diner where the girl that like got shoved through the meat grinder.
Yeah.
She's screaming
While her head's gone.
in the meat grinder. How is she still screaming? Half her body's already in there.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just and then of course there's also like this is where they're like, did you get a description of him? And it was I think you said it was the printout of just basically Jim Carrey.
Yes, where they what was it? They get finally they get a police artist to talk to the waitress.
Yeah.
And it was the police sketch is literally just a
just the
line
Jim
for
Carrey
line.
Grinch like this.
Yeah, it was the Jim Carrey Grinch traced on a piece of paper doing the Jim Carrey Grinch pose. So the SantaCon people have been killed.
Gone.
And now she's like, yeah, this monster exists. Right? And that's when
she
she's
says that to
talking
Burke, right? Burke's the good cop.
Burke is believing
Sheriff
more at
Woody.
this point.
Well, not the sheriff, but
Mayor
the,
Big
Deputy Woody.
Mayor
Deputy
Big
Woody.
Bitch is yelling at Sheriff Hooper to put a lid on this.
Exactly, because the tourists that they get in this small sleepy town, they want more SantaCon.
Yeah,
people.
we could. Yeah, so the whole idea is that they know about this, the mayor and the sheriff, and their idea to keep the monster or demon at bay is to feed it tourists, which
Towners.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, no. Why wouldn't they just try to kill the monster?
Why negotiate with the beast?
Why not just tell the FBI or something? I was like, hey,
Right.
there's something in the mountains.
We don't think it's normal. You might want to send up some other G-men up here to deal with this.
I'm gonna believe that they've had a sit down conversation with the beast and made an agreement, or because this thing doesn't talk. So
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Well, but it recognizes people talking to it though.
Yeah,
Yes.
It can't actually.
It's
it can
sentient.
only. It can only.
It just doesn't have vocal cords.
Right.
just
But it has vocal cords enough to make grunting noises.
That's a good
it
point.
just makes like facial expressions. Like at the end,
Yes.
just like
Yeah, it does the clapping and the little, it's just.
We have to talk about Dr. Seuss, though.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and
let's talk about him.
that's now because she's gonna go to the bar and meet up with
Yes, well,
these
because
Zeus.
he saves her because the Grinch can't push open a door.
Yeah.
So
That's
he
true. That
comes,
did happen. Yeah, he
yes,
fucking
because
fired a few rounds off
he
at
was
it.
trying to kill Cindy, and then that's when Dr. Seuss comes up and is basically Santa. He's supposed to be Santa.
Well, he says he's been protecting her for 20, 30
I don't
years.
understand that.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
but he
I
never
don't
left the
understand
town.
that either.
He never left the town.
So
So
how
he's
is he
like,
protecting her?
He's just
She's
from
well,
left.
maybe he was driving around and be like, all right, no Cindy.
Yeah,
And that
we're
was
good.
it. Another,
He's,
another
he's-
day.
It always cuts to him sitting in a fucking car, just
Getting
chugging
wasted.
fucking schnapps. You know what I mean?
Well,
He's
okay.
getting tanked.
But going back to him, the Grinch also killed his wife.
True.
That was a wild death, though.
Right?
That
'Cause
happens
she had
literally in the
presents.
middle of public during the day.
Just does he bring groceries or
Yeah.
something?
And
Yeah.
didn't he cut her in half?
It was so the whole thing was that they got.
They were they were
she was
bringing
just-
they were bringing presents
They
out.
knew that there was a Christmas ban. All she wanted to do is just ship these Christmas presents off to the post office to some family in Florida or some shit, and gets ripped in half by this thing.
Yeah.
Right on the way to the post office.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
None
And then
of
the
it makes
cops were
sense.
like, nah.
That's probably a
Yeah,
cougar.
yeah, it was probably by car.
They do say that, right?
They
It was
say something
like
it must have been a wild animal.
it was a mountain lion.
I mean, we're near a mountain.
Yep.
That's probably what happened, right? And he's like, no.
It's the most realistic option. A mountain lion.
That's
This is
how-
like the South Park episode where the mountain lion's protecting the town.
Yeah, that's right.
That is actually there is some plausibility to small town cops being like, that was probably a bear, that crime would end. The crime of the G-spot would be solved by two girls on a podcast 25 years later.
Isn't that how it always gets done now?
usually how
Exactly.
the cold cases get reopened
Yep.
and closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dr. Seuss shows up and
Yeah.
says, I believe you.
Yes.
And then finally someone believes her that there is a big green fuzzy thing killing people.
Yes.
And then what happens? She just like talks to the cop and is like, I have someone on my side.
Yeah. And it's pretty much it.
No,
Like,
yeah, because she just goes, oh no, now something is gonna change. Now they're gonna listen to me.
Exactly. I got this alcoholic that everyone just does not believe with a trunk full of the wildest weapons.
The wildest. And I'm pretty sure there's like a quick transition to the cops being like, nope, not enough evidence.
Yes.
It's like super quick.
So then the deputy goes hiking in this place where people already got murdered.
Yep.
He goes spelunking in this cave and then finds a
sees
bunch
it.
finds
a bunch of wallets of people who are missing. So it's like, okay, he's believing her.
Yes.
yeah.
He sees
Because
the
he
beast.
finds bodies.
He's
He finds
hiding under
he
the
sees the
canvas.
beast.
Oh, yeah. Because
That's
the
the
beast.
plot device
Yeah.
for the canvas, so we can hide behind it.
You're right.
It's the plot device.
But it's like it's so dumb because but also he just like what infuriates me is he keeps stepping on that Christmas toy that keeps triggering music.
Oh my God.
And it's like, dog, you are the worst at this, man. Like you are way in over your head. Like also like the whole time you and I were talking, I'm like, does he?
I'm sorry. We were watching the training montage.
Oh, the training montage is coming up right now.
It's harder than that, so she takes that literally.
Oh, she's like,
And just tries to like work.
Where'd she get a gun from?
Yeah,
she
pulls out a
becomes
gun.
like a walking lethal weapon during this
Yes,
movie.
she does the Sarah Connor, fucking just doing chin-ups now.
Yeah, fucking, yeah, but like the whole time when he's going spelunking, I go like, where's his gun?
Yes. Okay. He
didn't bring
goes.
it.
He didn't bring it. He didn't bring
Why?
his. He's chasing a monster.
He
He
gave
didn't
it to
bring a
her.
gun.
Did he really?
No, I was kidding.
You know,
Well, that
I
would
would've believed that,
explain
though. That
why
would've
she
made
has
sense.
has a fucking gat now. Like,
Let's
It
just.
makes
Nothing
literally
makes
no
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
That the deputy is weaponless,
So
but she's strapped.
So she basically predators her house where she like makes all these
she
traps.
home alones it.
Yeah, Home Alone's it. So there's traps, there's guns, they're all Christmas themed. They're wrapped in candy cane, wrapping paper,
Yep.
or whatever.
She's got the kerosene
and
ornaments.
she's just ready to kill this thing. And she gets this. She's gonna do a plan with Dr. Zeus and Burke, right? They all are gonna.
Yes. Well, I think it was
Well, no,
mainly
Burke
with
does-
Dr.
Burke
Seuss.
does not, Burke does not want her to do this
No,
at
Burke
all.
Yes,
is like,
that's right.
hey, you probably shouldn't try to lure a monster.
That's right.
That has been murdering
And it
people.
implies like you're gonna become the monster at the end, and it's I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here with that. Like that's
You're the monster after all.
That
Oh,
would have
I'm
been
sorry,
such a
like-
twist if she was actually the
monster?
the Grinch, but if only. I also was floating around the idea because they never talk about where the Grinch comes from, that it was just the fucked up love child of the mayor and the deputy that they left on the mountain.
and I
Like-
would have found
That
that
would-
plausible too.
Exactly. That would have been more of an explanation of like, oh no, it just lives up there and hates Christmas and Hanukkah.
It probably would have been better, honestly, than the
Route they go.
undisclosed reasons of why, or like the very light reasons that we've received for him actually committing these crimes
So-
and killing people.
Does the Grinch kill the mayor before the fight at the end?
Before.
The mayor
It does.
dies pretty early, and then
She's getting out of
Yeah.
Dodge. She's
She's-
like, I'm going to fucking what was it? She's going
She's
to
visiting
Lake,
her sister.
She's going. I'm
Yeah.
going to Lake Tahoe and get
That's
the
it.
fuck out of here.
Yes,
and
for Christmas.
And
figure this shit out.
And she gets murdered by
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Grinch.
she gets
by her
murked.
car, right?
He
Yeah.
has power over electricity. Like, did
He's
anyone
like
notice
the
that?
monster from season 1 of Stranger Things.
Yes, whenever he was around, the lights flickered. There was like her car.
he's got like this
had-
Megan ability to,
Yeah.
to alter the lights.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like, he has to be a demon because it's
Yeah.
like, how are the lights flickering when he's showing up?
True.
This is insane. So like he makes her car break down and then immediately fucks her up and decapitates her.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if he did it or if she just had the worst string of bad luck ever.
I kind of like the idea she did it. He did it.
Yeah, because like it's just so convenient that her car just shuts down in the middle of the woods, and then the music comes on and kind of forces her to get out of the car, and that's when he gets her. Yeah, so like she gets murked pretty bad. Like I think
He gets decapitated.
she gets decapitated, and then also didn't. At what point didn't a random guy, who's just trying to close his restaurant for the evening?
He wanted bell peppers. He got jingle bells
Yes,
instead.
and he got decapitated as well.
Yeah.
And then
And that
he-
was just done to set up a really dumb joke at the very end of the movie.
Yes.
too.
Yes.
He's like, Charlie, where's my fucking bell peppers?
That was another thing. That poor guy gets his head cut off and
Shipped
put in a
off.
box and
Yeah.
shipped. Right. Which is just like there's
The
so
smell.
many.
That's what's opened at the end of the movie.
Yes, the box
That's
with the head
she's
in
doing
it.
because they do
To
like
the
a
point.
weird commentary
Yep.
where they're making
yeah,
fun. Yeah.
that.
we were thinking what was in the box, but you're right. Yeah, it's
in the
we mean by-
box?
yeah, we were basically like, what's in the box?
No,
What's
it
in the
is a
fucking
head.
box?
It's a
It
head.
is a head. You
Makes a
were-
lot of sense.
Yeah. Which is, a funny Seven reference, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Grinch tried to play husband and he failed at it. You know, so I don't know. There's some really silly kills in this movie.
Really silly. It's silly in general.
Silly in
Yeah.
general. It's dumb.
You have how the Burke who figures out how
The mayor and the
sheriff are doing
Exactly.
He tied it all
Because
together.
this. He sees all their licenses.
Yep.
He tracks he sees the website that's guiding them.
Doesn't the sheriff, he admits to it? that
Yes.
It's like, yeah, we got, this was happening, and then I went up there and I saw it, and I was like, well, okay, I guess
doesn't-
we're feeding tourists
Yeah, the
to this
out of
Doesn't he
town-
sacrifice himself to help them at the end, the sheriff?
He tries to make like a heroic turn. He's like, "This is my town.
Yeah.
I'm protecting the
Yes.
town," which is what he just said as an excuse that he doesn't care about anybody else but people in the town.
So there's a lot to unpack with him because, even one thing I found really funny when they were doing the detective work to figure out that he was responsible. When Burke is going through the Facebook images, and every shot of a hiker has the Grinch just like.
Yeah, in the background.
badly
I would be
photoshopped.
commenting on that, being like, dude, look behind you.
Yeah, what the fuck is
Get
that?
out of there.
Those shots were so wild, especially that third one where he just looked like he was in like this black biker gear.
Oh
just,
my
like,
God, behind him.
hanging behind a bark of the tree in the back of the photo.
So like basically they figure out that they purposely were luring hikers up here because
To feed the Grinch.
Yeah. So like
Wild.
like first they tried feeding it a goat and he was like, well, that's not going to be enough. I can't just keep giving. I just don't have like an infinite supply of goats.
Yeah, they should have just put a Santa hat on the goat, and then maybe that
Maybe
would have
it worked.
satisfied him.
Yeah. Well, he ate the goat. He took the goat.
He did.
regardless. But
Yeah.
like
He needs human.
yeah, right. He needs. Oh, that's what it was because they make a comedy. He's like, but once it acquired the taste of human flesh, which I'm like,
They always Sunny does.
yeah, it did. So like it's so silly, and then even Hooper's sacrifice at the end is so nonsensical because he makes a complete 180 to be like, you're right, I have to protect this town. And even his death is so stupid because he just chases this thing into a cave, basically its domain, with no lights,
Yeah.
and is just singing Christmas songs and gets fucking murked immediately.
Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi.
But also, even before that, Burke trying to go up there on his own to kill it because he doesn't want Cindy to die, and starts. We made a comment about this before, but starts singing. He doesn't know any Christmas songs, so he's kind of like butchering them. But what blew my mind is the minute he starts singing the dreidel song, the Grinch got even more infuriated.
Turns
Like,
out there's a holiday that he hates more than Christmas,
it's like,
and it's Hanukkah.
like that just angered it,
Yeah.
like pissed it off, and like it's just I don't know. This movie hurt my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's that thing where it's like you get like there's bad movies that are intentionally bad to be funny.
Right.
This one's just kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like it's bad.
Again, doesn't know what the tone or
Yeah.
the theme it wants to go with is, and it go and like even like I know we put subtitles on when we watched it. And my favorite part when we would watch it is anytime there was a scary part, it would just say dramatic sting.
Yes.
Not a single jump scare in
Nope.
this movie landed for me.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing caught me off guard or startled me whatsoever. I even thought the depiction of the mean one wasn't even scary.
No, it's not
No,
scary at all.
it's
It's
very
just,
comical.
It's just silly. Yeah, a little ridiculous.
So like, where are we at now? We're like, I think we're trying to lead up to
So-
right before the big.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just talk about the
She's-
big battle.
The big
Yeah.
battle.
Well, the thing is that what was it? She's home aloneing her house right
Yeah.
now to be like, I'm gonna lure him and I'm gonna fucking
Yeah,
kill
she
this thing.
set up a Christmas tree, all that stuff.
Yes. And then Dr. Seuss immediately he goes to a bar and is like, I'll help you, but I gotta get tanked first. And then he
That
gets
was funny.
yeah, so he gets tanked and then he gets arrested or he gets
Okay,
put in the drunk tank.
We questioned this. We were like, wait, is it a DUI when the engine turns on?
Yeah, because he didn't turn the car on yet.
That felt like
they-
entrapment. The
they
cop
pulled
was
him
like
over.
already there waiting for him, and I wonder because he does shake his hand. I wonder if this is just a common thing.
Probably. I mean, it's
Where he's
established that he's an
like-
alcoholic.
He's like, look, I know where you're gonna be. I don't want you on the road. I'm just gonna put you in the drunk tank for the night so you can sleep it off. Because like it almost seems like this like happens a lot.
Yeah, I think
know?
do you know the laws on that?
I
That's probably his house.
so
the car. Yeah.
You
I
can drink in your house.
With all the guns he had back there too.
I
Oh my God,
believe
you're right.
I believe the law is the second the car is turned on, even if you're sitting in there parked, as long as you're in the driver's seat, it's a DUI. Like
Yeah, he didn't.
Even-
He
No, he never turned the car
yeah,
on.
I
He
think
never
I
did.
think it has to be turned on.
Oh.
Because even if you say you want to like you were drunk and you want to like sleep it off in your car,
Right.
that's fine. But if you turn your car on to listen to music, a cop could still come to you and say you had the intent to drive since the car was on.
Yes.
So I believe that's why the car has to
You
be
want to know
off.
why that? I do agree with you, but you want to know just like the caveat of why that really sucks because someone could really just be genuinely trying to sleep at
100%.
or not in
Yes.
the house, but it could be fucking freezing cold outside and you can't put the heat on.
Yes, you're not allowed to. You can't be in there drunk with the car. That would be another actually good example of like getting entrapped if you just want to turn the heat on or like the AC.
Right.
Just hoping
You
that how
can't-
tanked you are makes you warm, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you can't. Yeah,
Yep.
it would be considered drunk driving.
Yes.
It was wild, but like so that he gets put in the drunk tank, and then like the Burke reveals that Hooper was in on it the whole
Yep.
time. Hooper has a weird 180 and decides and gives the fucking keys to Dr. Zeus to get out of his own prison cell.
Yes.
Yes.
And the whole ring's probably the whole place. Like
Right.
the ring of
He's like,
keys.
oh, and by the way, the armory's down on the left.
Yeah.
So I swear, I
The
love
Facebook photos were incredible.
this.
Yes.
Amazing.
So they get the whole. It is actually absurd. They have the whole setup. They're gonna lure him into the house, and they're gonna have this whole big final confrontation with him.
Right.
Which they do. Does it go according to plan? Like I feel like they deviate a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so she turns the lights on, lures him out, gets into
After her training montage.
after her training
Doing the
montage,
3
which, by the
pull-ups.
way, she gets fucking yoked. Like, even during, I'm pretty sure there is a difference between her muscle tone in this and then that really bad shower sex scene.
Yes.
Which, by the way, shower sex, overrated, kids. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys.
It's hard, man.
It's
hard.
It's uncomfortable.
You're removing
very
the
stressful.
lubrication.
Yep.
It's miserable.
Yeah. It's
Overrated. One of the most
Overrated.
overrated ways to do it.
Exactly.
You
Don't
only,
do it.
Only if you're in a movie called The Mean One or something better than that are you allowed to have shower sex. Just don't do it, guys. Please, I beg you. But like, she's fucking yoked at this point. Like, she is basically Ronda Rousey's cousin. It's insane.
She definitely gave me Ronda Rousey vibes, for sure.
She learns like fucking MMA by beating up like a Grinch doll
Yeah.
that she built. So
She punches it like twice.
oh my god, yeah, right. So it's like this whole right. So she sets up the house. He shows up, right, and she tries to get a couple shots off. And we've already established this thing does not go down from small arms
no,
fire.
he eats bullets.
This thing's built like a tank.
It is. That's why I like your demon theory.
It's gotta
It
be a
makes the
demon.
most
It
sense
has to
because
be,
it
yeah.
doesn't die
I'm
naturally.
I'm gonna echo this towards the end with a very key point that I think this is a demon. But yes, so
yeah, maybe they should have tried holy water. Like
Might have worked. So, because she blows him up with a grenade, right?
well, here's the
she blows up the tree with the kerosene
So
ornaments.
This thing takes let's go in order of things this thing received damage from.
Okay.
Handgun fire. For some reason, she decided to karate kick it. This thing, fucking Dr. Zeus is sitting outside with a fucking hunting rifle and gets 3 in the back.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So which
He
is like
does.
a high
Got the
caliber
scope.
rifle. And
Yeah.
this
with
guy
like a
just,
scope on it.
This
Yeah.
thing gets so pissed at like instant transmissions outside and immediately fucks him up, almost kills him.
Yeah, she was able to save him.
And then gets into a tussle with it with the bat. The thing takes the bat away from her. And then she pretends like she's fucked up running away. And she tosses a fucking kerosene ornament grenade
Yes.
in its face. And that still doesn't do anything. And then I think at some point she does eventually end up back in the house to continue the battle.
Yes.
Right? So at this point, we've got grenade, rifle,
Handgun, bat.
handgun, melee. Nothing's doing anything. I don't know I forget what subdues it, but I think Dr. Zeus plays some fucked up Christmas music through the like cars, the police cars or cars radio, and that gets it like all disturbed because its senses
It
are
just
so
hates
heightened.
Christmas.
Was there
Yeah.
like some weird Holly Jolly song?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just plays a distorted version of it.
And literally that. And that's when she's like, I'm sorry, right? She apologizes
she
to
gets
it.
it.
Oh,
pins
she
it
says,
down.
I forgive you.
I forgive you.
She's ready to murder this thing with a knife, and it like is like it's doing the Jim Carrey. It's doing that shit.
She saw the Santa necklace.
Yes, she sees the
Yes.
Santa necklace.
He kept the Santa necklace, which is okay. That excuses what,
All the
20
murder,
murders?
and my parents are dead because
Exactly.
of you, and like
She forgives him, though.
Yeah, she goes, "Aw,"
I'm
Literally.
sorry.
she kisses,
She kisses
him,
him
on the cheek.
actually.
and that kills
This,
him.
but this scene might be the best part of the film, though.
Because his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Oh, and the narrator says it after.
So his heart explodes.
Which is like I think in real life, yes, that would kill
Yeah,
you. If
Yeah,
your
that
heart
would. You
became
should not have a
engorged
big
from
heart.
that and just
Popped. Yeah, I think anyone would die. But I get.
Does that mean
it's so
she could have
cheesy.
she could have killed? Like, would that have happened in the very beginning? if she was nice to him, because it was like kindness
So
that killed him.
Did like, would he have been happy if she just like, I'm gonna kiss you and please continue to steal my stuff?
And then he would have died.
He would have died.
He would have
He would've instantly
exploded.
died.
It would have been like a saw trap. It just.
So okay, so this
So why was he mad though that the mom was upset with him stealing? That's what he should have liked.
So, okay, so this is what I think. I think that the town for the longest time acknowledged that this creature existed, and, you know, there was only rare sightings of it because if you were unlucky, it would show up and steal all your shit. Never once, though, had it ever murdered anyone.
It's a great scene.
Like watching Mayor Bigbean get killed with her own voting stickers.
Yeah.
It's like, you made a comment, she's like, how tough are these stickers?
Yeah, seriously.
Strong stickers.
So, my theory is that this thing has existed for a long time and that it would steal people's stuff and like no one could ever verify if it was real because no one would fucking believe you. You'd be like, all our shit.
Yeah.
You would think it was just a really shitty B&E. So, the mother
No
sees-
blood on that severed head.
He would have had the wherewithal to slap the sticker on.
Yeah.
Right. The
He's somewhat sentient.
this is the thing. This thing has mannerisms I don't understand.
He understands irony.
Right. So,
so
Seriously,
bad.
like he would have to.
so I think even the fact that it gets set off on this murderous rampage following that incident with Cindy 20 years ago doesn't make sense. Like the fact that I guess like he took Cindy's perception of him so seriously that he's like, oh my God, I guess I am a monster. I kill people now.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just killing people now. That's the only reason I could think this thing existed even before the incident.
It's a good theory. I feel like you shouldn't even have to theorize, you know, but it is a good theory.
you have to. You're trying to fill in the gaps because there's no
Story.
reason.
None.
Right.
There's
No
nothing.
explanation.
Purpose, like even like the length of time, like you have no idea. Did it start with Cindy? It seems like that was not the case, but
Yeah.
the Cindy incident stuck out to him.
Wait, so, okay. They kill him and they say, oh, wait, we can make money off of this. And don't they turn it into like a Christmas town?
Yeah, it
like,
becomes a Christmas town again.
Themed from the Grinch.
Yes, where they're like, he's up there in the mountains still.
Do you think they stuffed his body? That would have been the only, like if they did a taxidermy of his body.
I wouldn't
because
doubt
now
it.
they have it.
Because now they got the influencers coming from TikTok.
Well, no, they say the government came in and took everything. That's another
Did they
part.
really?
Yes, they say this. The government came and took everything. So, like, what's going on there? Like, did the government like, accidentally let this fucking cryptid out? And
He
just,
was a government experiment.
Right.
Oops.
Oh, we found him, guys. He was up here at
We
Newville.
messed up.
Why is he like a Christmas hater though? Is it just because of the monster incident on Christmas when he was
No,
breaking
but he
and
was
entering?
dressed
But
as Santa robbing
he
Christmas
was.
anyway.
Yeah, so he always hated
So
Christmas.
he must have hated it before then.
Correct.
He must have been doing this before
He was
then.
genetically engineered
Yeah.
to hate Christmas.
Yeah, why is it the holiday like what's the cause? Like there's
None of
no
it makes sense.
determination
See,
on that.
that's the one I was like, if he was a demon, then it's like he hates Christ and religion and
Yeah,
blah,
like-
blah, blah.
Yeah, like if they've explored just give us some conceptualization to why he was doing
Exactly.
this.
No, it's just a government project that got loose in the mountains. They said, no, it's not my domain, not my dominion.
Literally, and yeah, it's crazy. Oh my god.
Let's let the local sheriff handle this one.
Yeah.
It just like so the government takes the body and
Yes, and then they turn it into a Christmas village.
It has a happy ending because Burke and Cindy get together. They have
say
a
Abu Dhabi.
They have a new dad, Zeus.
Zeus is
Yes.
a drunk father. Yeah, that happens. But I fucking hated the like social media, like that just the stock imagery of like hundreds are coming into the mountains. And it's
Yeah.
like literally stock footage of people hiking.
Have you seen the mean one? Say yeah.
That fucking Mobile, Alabama reference and like just all this. It just I don't know why it was so cringe. I felt just like this part just like made me cringe.
Oh, you mean
The
how
whole movie
they
is crazy.
Oh no,
how they
this
ran
part-
out of money at the end and they were just
they-
using
they
like
rushed
B-roll
through it,
stock
like,
footage.
And that woman is like, I'm gonna go up there and find him, y'all. Like I was getting so
Insanity,
infuriated.
insanity.
And then there's the key part where they kind of imply like it's over, right? And this is like, okay, I know that sometimes horror movies have to set up a sequel, and that's fine, but like if you're not gonna do one, don't imply you're gonna do one, right? And then you hear the mean
That's
one
what Brian-
make a noise that implies he's gonna be back next year, like it's it, right?
Yes.
And it's
even
like,
though right now he's in a government facility.
Yeah. That's what Brian was saying. It makes no sense. Like, how does he come back? His heart exploded.
Yeah,
Right.
like there's like bringing him back completely destroys the concept of the first movie. Like, and I hate when movies do that. It makes literally zero sense for him
Yeah.
to come back.
They're trying to do like a Jeepers Creepers type bullshit.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like It makes zero sense. It's so frustrating. Like, why couldn't they just let it? It's shitty enough, but you gotta throw that ending in there. We needed to have that.
Like,
Throw a
God
question
forbid
mark.
we have closure in a horror movie.
I know, seriously.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I'm thinking of, like, what was it, the remake of House on Haunted Hill, where they just end up stuck at the top of the house and can't get back inside. And I was like, that's it. They're fucked. That's fine. They're fucked. 100%. It's okay. You don't have to do anything more than that.
But then there's Return to House on Haunted Hill.
Oh.
Did you ever see the sequel?
I did not actually.
Which I have actually seen recently.
Really?
Yeah, because I never knew it existed.
I watched it recently on
Same
HBO
here. I didn't know
Max.
until this
Is
moment.
it good?
No, it's horror. It's actually horrid, Shane.
Is it better or worse than the mean one?
It's better.
It's better than
It's better?
Yeah,
Okay.
This is
Damn.
something.
Damn.
I have a love-hate relationship with Return to House on Haunted Hill. It's one of those ones. It's bad, but I've probably watched that movie like 5 times.
Have you really?
It's a guilty
I
pleasure
actually
movie.
like the first one. It's crazy,
Yes.
but I like the first one.
I love the first one. The second one is really bad, but it's a guilty pleasure. I've watched it so many times. I thoroughly enjoy. Like, if I'm bored, it is actually a movie I would just throw on and watch.
I had a sequel night where I was just watching sequels. I watched that and Doom Annihilation. I was just
Doom
watching-
Annihilation was bad too.
So watching.
So that's the mean one.
Yeah. It ended on a
A real high.
And they're going to set it up for the sequel, The Mean 2.
nice.
Well done. All right. I feel like some of our ratings are going to be similar here.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this movie an ice cold 3
Okay.
I like that.
because it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good bad. It's just really bad. And it wasn't even saved by, like, any good gore effects because they're all really bad CGI. This movie actually is probably, like, one of the best cases to, like, not do CGI because they, like you said, they CGI driver's licenses in this movie.
Golden
It's
fucking fish.
and fish. It's such
Yeah.
a weird thing. It's bad. It's a bad movie. This is 3. This is a 3 we're looking at.
Yeah, so I had this at a 3, but I'm going to actually give it a mean 2. Like a mean 2. There's literally zero cohesion in this movie, and it's very frustrating. Some of it is funny, but the lack of continuity, it just drives me nuts. And the acting, we didn't even talk about the acting. The acting is just...
The only good actor in this movie, I always say this, like, it's not always true, but usually the oldest guy is the best because they've had the most time to learn
Acting.
Exactly,
And so
to hone their
the
craft.
drunk Dr. Zeus is like my favorite character in this whole movie.
Oh, me too. They also hold shots way too long.
Yes.
And, I was like...
They were trying to make up time.
Yeah, like there's a dead guy that I'm like, oh, he's dead. Like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, why is he on frame for so long? But yeah, this movie was frustrating.
You know, the editor originally, the first cut was like an hour, a little under. And
Yeah,
they're like,
she's like,
we gotta
beat these up.
extend it
Yeah.
somehow. We got 54 minutes and
Like,
that's it.
get
We got
more influencers.
Yeah.
Just bring them in.
Bring in the montage.
Yeah, but like, I didn't hate watching it. It's just not good.
Yeah.
It is not
That's
good.
how I feel about it too.
I think I'm also going to give it a mean 2. It
Okay.
just,
Wow, I
I'm
went
just
with
gonna,
the highest.
Yeah, I'm going to reiterate what you guys were saying. Nothing makes sense. It wasn't, I mean, it was fine to watch in the background, muted. But other than that, it's not scary. It's not, I think the only funny part about it is how they want to tiptoe around not saying the Grinch. I think that's probably what I enjoyed the most.
Mike Finch.
Mike Finch.
Order from Mike Finch.
But we call it the mean one. Yeah, a 2.
I'm doing self-fulfilling prophecy on this one. I'm giving it a mean 1. I'm giving it I Shane, you had texted me and I was like, look, I'm gonna save all my ammunition for when I got on here, but it just this movie infuriated me, like, in a way that, and that's why I was saying earlier in the episode here, like, I feel like I've had such a hot streak of luck when it came to films,
Yes.
right? Like, I've been on for the first episode I ever did was, I think, The Thing.
Yeah.
I did They Live. I made a cameo with Mike on Resident Evil. I did P2. Like,
You did the menu.
I did The Menu. Like,
good
a lot
movie.
of those. I've done a lot of those.
Did you do Silent Hill?
I did Silent Hill. Like,
You
yeah,
made a cameo for Scream 2, actually, when Nick
I did
said
it. That's right. I was there for Scream 2, and then I did this, and I was like, you look at I had such a great
you had a great
career.
Yeah. You really did.
And you ruined it.
You really did.
No. But I think you have to, in order to truly be like in it, you have to do something like this. Yeah. So I'm grateful, but like this, all of my ire is directed at the film. For Mean One.
But what if this is now though your later Nick Cage run? Like, what if this was you in Ghost Rider, but now you're going to be in your Wicker Man?
You just made the turn. Now it's
and your Season of the Witch.
And I will make sure I have an Egyptian burial plot right next to him in New Orleans when I do that.
But you have a redemption arc when you start doing Mandy.
Yes.
So
That's
you just got to
true.
get through
You
this
gotta
phase.
That's
lean
true.
into the absurd.
Yeah.
I know. I knew I was long overdue for this experience, and I'm happy to be able to talk about it. But my God, these types of movies, they get like I almost like churned out by like a factory.
Yes.
Because you go on like Amazon or one of these streaming services, and they are just
everywhere.
anything you can possibly parody, it's being done.
It's why Final Friday could forever outlive this show.
Yeah.
There is so
There's
much
too much-
content
it's
for
mountains.
Final Friday with these bad
And I feel like
$10,000
they're
budget
being
movies.
made by like the month at this point.
Exactly. I
This
mean,
is-
it probably takes a week to shoot. Like,
Yeah,
let's be
a
real.
lot. There's movies me and Brian did. They shot in like 7 days.
I mean, this
Exactly.
is truly a movie we probably would have reviewed on Final Friday. It
Yes.
just was a popular release last
Yeah,
year.
so
Like,
it had to
believe
be
or
on
not,
the A show.
Really?
It was like more of a mainstream release only because of it being a Grinch, and it was the guy
Yeah.
that it was right after like Terrifier 2 came out.
Exactly.
That's
So it
surprising.
got like pretty popular, and
Yeah.
we're like, all right, we'll give it the A show treatment. We're not going to give it the B show with Mike G.
I thought it was going to be more like a Krampus, but it was not.
No.
No.
And I actually liked Krampus. When
Me
I
too.
saw it.
Well, I love
saw it in
Krampus.
theaters.
I thought
that
Krampus was a
great.
very good movie.
Yeah, there's like some good scares in it. There's some good. Like, I think that one was only PG-13.
Yeah, it's
It
good
was.
for a
Yes.
PG-13
Right.
horror for sure.
Yes, yeah, but like they also have a really good star-studded cast in that.
Yes, which definitely helps.
But
Feisty.
a little feisty one. Mm-hmm. We got a mean one right here. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
What a trip.
really was. Oh God, Necronomicon.
Yeah.
We have
We're not
so
done
many
yet.
options, so many great options.
You have a movie that is like in this territory that you're like, oh crap, we have to do the Necronomicon because you just want to be like,
Done.
seal this up, let's get out of
Right
here.
away. Get me out of here.
You can do like honestly you can do the bitten off faced mayor and the stickers. You can do the sheriff that just runs to his death. You can do her mother getting fallen on, but I have to go with the Grinch. How could you not? How could you not go with the mean
That's
one?
true. His heart
Okay.
explodes.
Oh wow, okay.
I like
so you're
that.
going with the bad guy of the movie.
I have to. His heart explodes. It was fucking absurd.
It was a great death. It's probably the best death in the movie.
Also, the meat grinders, not bad.
Oh,
The
that
meat
was a good
grinder
one.
is pretty good. I'm gonna go with the Grinch, the mean one. I like that
Mean
actually.
one.
I think my original one was the mayor.
It's pretty crazy.
Because
too.
like
the stickers.
yeah,
The-
but like she's kind of a nothing character when you really think about it.
Yeah.
she doesn't serve a purpose.
Mayor
I'm
McBean.
gonna go with the mean one.
They also get killed by the Grinch and or the mean one. In any case, her and the sheriff, and there's no like, he just brutally murders them.
Yeah,
He never cared who they were.
No, he didn't.
No.
And I'm just like, huh.
It didn't matter.
I'm really confused if there even was a relationship. Like, did they just like pick up on this thing and just kept feeding them bodies, and he just like left everybody alone?
yeah, it's super strange.
Like, like, you don't know. There's no context. But all right, well, that's that.
What,
All right.
did you pick your? You have
No, I think I'm going to go with the mean one too.
Okay.
Again,
It's
he
so-
had.
I mean,
he had
Tim,
the
your
best
opinion
death.
doesn't matter anymore, but you can still say who you're gonna
I
pick.
know that, but I want to call it out anyway. My favorite death was a character that everyone forgot about in the diner. It's the guy, the unfortunate soul, who was dressed in the inflatable Christmas tree outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my!
Who
Oh
in
my
that
God.
moment, which if you've worn one of those costumes, you literally can't do anything. His whole thing, literally, I almost feel like they even just like edited in his audio. All he can do when all of this chaos is happening around him is he just goes, oh, and just stands in one corner and he just gets fucking impaled.
Wait, what
And
about
he does that slow inflation fart
Yeah.
of his costume? That was my favorite.
What about the guy with the what was he on? Like a inflatable reindeer or something?
Oh,
And
he had the thing that makes it look like he's like getting carried around.
something like that. He just stands up. He's like, I gotta piss.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. He goes, I'll be right back. I gotta fucking piss. He does the fucking DX thing.
He does do that. This
I
movie's-
gotta fucking piss.
I'm
I'm gonna start doing that anywhere I am. I don't care if I'm with.
I gotta
Was that
pee.
the guy that was like sexually harassing the waitress, or no?
Yes.
One of the, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, I think it was a different guy. That
The
was
other
the
guy
guy.
did. Yeah, the other one. She was like, "Do you guys want? All we have is iced tea and alcohol." And they were like, "Yay!"
Yeah, and then she elbows him and breaks his nose, and he immediately gets killed by the mean one.
He gets turned on by her getting elbowed in the fucking
He
nose.
does.
It's
Yeah.
just like, it's like, hey, to each their own. But yeah, no, I
damn.
gotta fucking.
Piss. I gotta piss. Movie's sick. Okay, the mean one. You are a mean one, Mr. G-Spot.
Oh.
And that's really all we can say, because we'll get sued by Dr. Seuss, and I don't want to do that.
Zeus.
I shouldn't even sing the song that much. Who knows?
You're allowed. You're allowed
Yeah.
under parody law.
Love it. Perfect. Yeah, you were horrible. I actually I don't think anyone deserved to be in the Necronomicon in this one instance.
Wow.
It was bad. But you are the guy who played the clown, Art the Clown in Terrifier, so I guess you deserve to be in it. And you also look like Jim Carrey, which is a bad movie. You ever, like, the movie is so bad I actually don't know what to say?
Yeah,
That's where I'm at right now. I hate it, and I always have something to say. All I do is talk, but we're done here. Okay, wrap this up. Let's get this shit over.
That's all the mean one deserves.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve much.
It's just absurd.
It is.
It's just truly an absurd movie.
And you know what's crazier? Next week, me and Brian might be even doing a worse movie.
Potentially, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Ooh,
We are doing Silent Night, Deadly Night 3.
There's 2 before that one?
Yes. What is the subtitle for this one? Let's see. It is Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Better watch out.
Is this the series where like they did the first one and then the second one was just basically a rehash of the first
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Or like half of it.
And now the third one, I don't think has anything to do with either of those two, but it stars Bill Moseley as
So
Ricky.
they recast Ricky.
Ricky as Bill Moseley.
Because the guy who did it in the other one was such a meme.
Yes.
That they had to recast him, or they just couldn't get him back. There's no way they want that guy back.
I think it was just a completely different story almost. I don't know. I think it's going to be weird. But then when we get to the fourth one, Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Clint Howard's in it, and it's about a woman's slug cult.
Oh yes, very good.
Okay.
I love a good slug cult.
They're
How
like
many are there?
5, I believe. Because then I think
At
it's Silent
least.
Night, Deadly Night 5, the toy maker.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Slug Cult.
Oh,
For a
God.
second. It was like,
There's
at least
probably-
5.
There's probably at least 5 slug cults. Yeah, it's going to get weird.
Oh, boy.
Very weird.
Okay.
But thank you for being on.
Thank you
I'm
guys
for
sure.
coming.
I'm sure we'll
Thanks for
get
having
another.
us.
We'll get a better movie for you guys next time.
Thank you.
You guys have been hit or miss together because there was Skinamarink.
Skinamarink, that was another.
That was
great
a good one.
Okay, but
That was a
Hit
good
for
one.
Tim.
I love
hated
that.
Skinamarink.
I use that as a verb anytime I lose my
Yeah.
phone in the house.
It's
It's like,
been
God damn it, I'm
Skinamarink.
getting skin-marinked.
Megan was good.
Megan was good.
And
Megan's
now we
fantastic.
got Mean One, so we'll go up from here. I
Okay.
feel
It's an emotional roller coaster. You got to have a low, and then, like you said, I'm going to have my Nick Cage
Exactly.
like renaissance, and I'm coming
Yeah.
back up.
should be exciting. All right. So with that said, we are the final podcast signing off, and we find out next week if Ricky is the same Ricky from the first 2 movies or not. No one knows.
It has to be. Like, why would they give him the same name?
Because this series is fucking crazy.
It is crazy. Okay, well, follow all of us. www.thefinalpodcast.com for all of our content, please. We do have a YouTube channel now, so
We do.
That's a thing. So
The
subscribe.
final podcast.
Yeah, listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your shit. So, yeah, we'll see you next Monday. Bye.